Here's how this insane story begins. Humanity, as usual, had been doing a stellar job at destroying Mother Nature, polluting oceans, choking forests, and drilling holes into the planet's soul. But the world wasn't going to take it lying down. So, the goddess intervened. She released dungeons, massive, mysterious structures around the world. Monstrous, ever-shifting labyrinths filled with danger and power. She called them trials, and humanity had two choices: conquer them, or face total annihilation. The world changed overnight. Society crumbled, and then rebuilt itself around this new reality. Now, strength wasn't just useful, it was everything. People started developing levels and ranks, as if life had become a video game. The strong rose to the top, living like kings, and the weak, they were eaten alive. Cut to Kaikon, loud, confident, cocky. He waves 4 fingers in the air, grinning like he's just saved the world. He calls out to someone, Hinata. He expects admiration, praise. Hinata, caught off guard, blushes in embarrassment. His heart skips for a moment, not from excitement, but dread, because he knows exactly what's coming. Kaikon quickly wraps an arm around his neck, teasing him. You? Explore dungeons? You're still level 0, man. Dream on. Then he walks away laughing. Hinata stands there, frozen, a sad smile forming on his lips. Narration kicks in. Back when the dungeons appeared, everything changed. The age of equality ended. In this new world, your level was your worth. And Hinata? He was at the bottom. He'd always dreamed of being an explorer. Even with the lowest stats and 0 rank, he trained quietly, never gave up, even when others laughed. Especially Kaikon. He used to mock Hinata in front of the entire class, calling him delusional. But the worst part? He wasn't alone. Even in his own hometown, people jeered, whispered, laughed behind his back. That's why he left. He enrolled in Sishin High School, a prestigious academy for future explorers hoping for a fresh start. But the past had a funny way of showing up again. Seeing Kaikon at school again, it hit like a punch in the gut, and it got worse. Kaikon loudly introduced him to everyone as the 0-level boy, making sure every single student turned to look. Hinata felt the shame like a heat wave. But then, the airship came. It hovered like a spaceship above the school, its speakers crackling to life, announcing the latest explorer rankings. The top 100, the elite, were about to be displayed. Students gathered to watch. These explorers were celebrities, gods among men. Hinata looked up, eyes gleaming with hope. He'd always dreamed of being one of them. But a pang of fear crept in. He knew, with his low rank, no one would ever want him on their team. He was a burden, dead weight. Just then, whispers rippled through the crowd. A girl had arrived, floating golden hair, emotionless gaze, an aura that froze the room. Even her footsteps seemed to command respect. Kamui Hinata, the top S-rank explorer, daughter of the mighty Kamu clan leader, and now, a member of their school's student council. Kaikon's jaw practically hit the floor. I've gotta talk to her, he muttered, already dreaming about impressing her, maybe even asking her out. Later, in class, students were told to introduce themselves, and wouldn't you know it, our Hinata was seated right next to her. His heart nearly exploded. Kamui Hinata stood up first. Her voice was flat, cold. Kamui Hinata, she said, and sat back down. That was it. No pleasantries, no fake charm, just ice. Then it was his turn. Still in shock, Hinata fumbled to his feet. His chair crashed behind him. The whole room stared. He stammered his name, Suzuki Hinata. Wait, what? Everyone blanked. Even the teacher tilted their head. His name was nearly identical to hers. He awkwardly smiled, blushing like a fool. I haven't joined any club yet, but, if you're free, Kamui, maybe we could start a team? Dead silence. Later, he found himself standing in front of the dormitory. It was huge, way fancier than he expected. That's when Hono, the dorm supervisor, walked over and handed him a rule book. "Read it carefully," she said, serious as stone. "I'm relying on you." He blinked. Relying on him? For what? Still puzzled, Hinata unpacked, followed the rules, and made his way to the welcome meeting in the cafeteria. It was buzzing with excitement. The dorm president, cheerful and full of energy, clapped her hands and encouraged everyone to form teams. "Let's work together and make this year great." A few students chimed in, excitedly forming groups. Kamui Hinata nodded silently, barely reacting. Then her eyes landed on Suzuki Hinata. She stared for a moment, then asked, "What's your rank?" Hinata froze. With a sigh, he admitted it. "F rank, lowest here." You could hear the silence. The excited girl gasped. "What?" This school only takes top-tier explorers. Hinata nodded nervously. Even he didn't know how he was accepted. He was still processing everything. Someone teasingly asked if he wore gloves to hide his rank. That one stung. Because he did. He explained that ranks show your potential power from birth, that an S meant greatness, and an F meant failure. Society judged people before they even had a chance to prove themselves. But then, something unexpected happened. The cheerful girl who had mocked him smiled softly. "Even if you're F rank, if you work hard, you'll be rewarded someday." Hinata blinked. For once, someone believed in him. The meeting ends, and just when things feel a little less suffocating, one of the boys beside Hinata leans in and offers a kind word. "Don't look so down," he says, trying to cheer him up. "You can still level up." Hinata forces a smile, appreciative, but hollow. Before hope can fully settle in, the cheerful girl from earlier chimes in again. Her voice is calm, almost too calm. "I've never heard of an F rank ever succeeding," she says with a shrug, like she's stating a fact of life. No hatred, no malice, just cold realism. It stings. But Hinata doesn't argue, because deep down, he knows it's true. F rank, level 0, a nobody. Later, lying on the bed of his small assigned dorm room 307, Hinata stares at the ceiling, lost in his thoughts. His fingers trace the edges of his glove, hiding the mark of his shame. Then his phone buzzes. It's a message from his younger sister. She's overflowing with excitement, asking all about his first day and telling him her dream, to join the same school next year. The message is bright and full of hope, completely unaware of the crushing weight her brother carries. Hinata doesn't reply. He places a hand over his eyes. The truth hits harder than any insult. He didn't come here for fun, or pride, or even revenge. He came here to survive, to become an explorer, to earn money, to build a better life for the only two people who matter, his sister and their mother. That thought hits him hard, and then, it lifts him up. Sitting up slowly, he clenches his fist. If he talks to his sister now, he knows he'll break, so instead, he makes a quiet vow. "Not until I've made it." Fueled by fresh determination, he grabs his gear and heads out straight to Dungeon E117, a beginner-level trial. His mother had told him about it. He can still hear her voice, soft and comforting. "Don't be reckless, Hinata. Take care of yourself first. Then give it your all." He smiles. And now here he stands before a towering gate where a guard silently watches. The structure looks like an ancient ruin fused with sci-fi tech. It's intimidating. But Hinata swallows his fear. He enters the reception area. "Hello?" he calls out. No response. Then, without warning, bang, a loud thud echoes. He stares in disbelief as a girl pops up from under the desk, holding her head and wincing in pain. Rubbing her forehead, she forces a smile. Welcome," she stammers. "Ah, you're from Sishin High, right? I'll get you a license right away." She spins around, searching frantically. She checks behind the desk, then under it again. Panic settles in. "Oh no, where's the license box?" Hinata watches quietly. She's not exactly inspiring confidence. Finally, She darts to the back room to search for the register. Left alone, Hinata glances at something nearby, a large glowing crystal ball. It's used to evaluate rank and potential. He walks toward it. With a deep breath, he places both hands on the surface. It begins to glow. But instead of a hopeful color, it darkens. Deeper, and deeper, until it turns pitch black. His heart sinks. Black means nothing. No ability, no presence, a void where potential should be. It's as if the crystal itself rejects him. He steps back, overwhelmed by shame and confusion. Meanwhile, the receptionist finally finds the box and returns only to find the room empty. "Huh?" she mumbles. "Where'd he go?" She peeks around the corners, even opens the door. Did he go home? But Hinata didn't leave. Because something is happening. Inside the darkness of the crystal, something pulls him. He falls, his body plunging into an unseen abyss, like being swallowed by a shadow. And then, pain. Unimaginable pain. He screams, thinking he's falling straight into hell. And then, a cold voice from a monitor above him. Due to sustained hardship, special skill, dungeon information extraction acquired. His breath catches. What? The voice continues. Lucifer's fall is now under analysis. He doesn't understand. Lucifer? Where even is he? New skill, adaptive exploration granted. Then, another shock. Something lashes out, stretching, twisting, like invisible wires cutting into his body. He cries out, clutching at his chest, barely able to breathe. Resistance to foreign objects acquired. The voice is unrelenting. Each new line brings more pain. Skill evolution in progress. Resistance has upgraded. Now immune to abnormal states. He screams, falls, claws at the unseen floor. Blood, sweat, tears. "Someone please," he shouts. And then, silence. He jolts awake, gasping, panting. His eyes dart around. His room. He's back. He breathes heavily. It was a dream? But as his hand touches the floor, something feels off. Cold, rough, not the wood of his dorm room. His eyes widen. He's still in the dungeon. Panic surges through him. What just happened? What was that voice, and those skills? Just then, a glowing screen appears in front of him, hovering midair like a game interface. A full list of newly acquired skills blinks into view. His eyes widen. Maybe this wasn't a curse. Maybe, just maybe, this is his beginning. Still breathing hard, he gets to his feet. The darkness stretches on, but he doesn't hesitate, one step at a time. And then ping! A mini-map appears in the corner of his vision. Exploration skill activated. He exhales sharply. The dungeon awaits. Alone in the suffocating darkness of Dungeon E117, Hinata stumbles forward. His lungs burn, but he's still breathing. Barely. Only now does he realize what's keeping him alive: his altered stamina immunity, a skill born from hardship, a skill saving him from the slow death creeping in the air around him, paralysis, poison, decay. Even through the suffocating blackness, Hinata somehow sees the distant outline of a castle, its towers like shattered fangs piercing a starlit sky. Stars? Underground? Before he can question further, the system pings. Due to exposure to extreme darkness. Night vision skill upgraded. Suddenly, the world becomes visible, sharper, clearer. Hinata gasps. For the first time, he can actually see where he's going. A flicker of hope. Remembering his knowledge of dungeon mechanics, he tells himself, this is only an F-rank dungeon. There shouldn't be any deadly traps, right? But that thought barely lasts. He spots a glimmer, a reflection. Water. His throat is bone dry. Desperate, he runs toward it, scoops the cold liquid in his palms, and gulps it down. Then instantly gags. It tastes like death. He spits it out as the system chimes in. Vitality recovery skill evolved. Panic. Was it poison? He spins around, half expecting monsters to emerge from the shadows. But the forest remains still. No movement, no breathing, just the wind. Realizing the water was laced with toxins, he flings it away in disgust. The splash echoes through the woods. A narrow escape. Once again his skills had saved him. But next time, he might not be so lucky. As he presses deeper into the twisted forest, exhaustion wraps around him like a heavy cloak. Every step is slower than the last. He clutches a rock for support. Still no exit, no light, no way out. And then a chill. A warning. A gut-deep instinct screaming, danger. He ducks behind a stone wall, peeking out slowly. That's when he sees it. A hulking black mass moves between the trees, eyes glowing like dying coals, long claws, a forked tongue dragging on the ground. It lets out a low, rumbling growl that shakes the leaves. A monster, a giant one, and not the kind meant for beginners. His hand shoots over his mouth to stop a scream. His heart is pounding so loud he fears the beast might hear it. Is this the dungeon boss? He stays frozen, praying it'll pass. Then snap. A single misstep. His foot lands on a dead tree branch. Crack. The monster turns, eyes locking with his. It charges. Hinata bolts, his legs trembling as the system screams in his ear. Warning. Hostile target engaged. Speed boost activated. I know. Hinata yells back. I know I'm in danger. Speed now increased to medium. Speed now increased to high. Speed now at hyperspeed. He becomes a blur, streaking through the dungeon like a comet. But it's not enough. The monster is still chasing. Its claws slice through trees. Its tongue lashes out like a whip. It's relentless. Only after an eternity of sprinting does he finally stop, chest heaving, sweat pouring. He looks around. Still the forest. What? Exclamation mark. I was running faster than light. A low growl behind him. He turns. The monster is still there, glaring, breathing heavily, steam hissing from its mouth. Panic returns. He wants to run again, but then something inside him shifts. What if he fights? Could defeating this thing give him more skills? A way out? He clenches his fists, gathers every drop of courage, and charges. But the moment he sees the beast escaping, fanged mouth, doubt claws into him, the creature leaps into the air, landing with a quake that shakes the ground beneath his feet. Hinata strikes, but his weakened body fails him. The monster knocks him into the air. He crashes hard. Pain explodes across his body. Due to danger, endurance skill has increased. He winces, but that gives him hope. If the system's still updating, he's not dead yet. Then he sees it. Right by his side, a shimmering lake of poison. The same one that nearly killed him. The monster steps closer, readying the final blow. Without thinking, Hinata scoops the poison water and throws it at the beast. The water sizzles on impact, a bright flare. The monster growls, stumbles back. Hinata's eyes widen. It's working. He throws more. Each splash causes the creature to shriek and burn. A desperate final attack, poison water, over and over, until the monster begins to disintegrate, its body melting into glowing ash. Gone. Silence. Hinata collapses to his knees, shaking with relief. Then a quiet chime. Monster defeated. Activating skill. Monster detection. He stares at the new skill on his interface, breathing heavily. I didn't even know I had that, he mutters. Looking over the skill list, it dawns on him. Active skills, passive skills, each one reacting to his needs. Each one earned. He exhales slowly, his mind settling. If he uses them wisely, if he adapts, he might actually survive this place. Still trembling from the monster's death, Hinata activates his newly acquired monster detection skill. In a brief flash of glowing light, the enormous creature's corpse begins to shift. Its bones and hide peel away cleanly, separating into two neat piles. He stares in awe. This is amazing. For the first time since entering the dungeon, he feels the thrill of success rush through him. But then something else catches his eye. A soft glow, pulsing with energy. He kneels, eyes widening. A magic stone. He's heard of these, rare in E-rank dungeons prized for their use in energy generation, enchantments, and powerful equipment. This could sell for a fortune. Dreams flash before his eyes, a magic bag to store loot, better weapons, real equipment. Without hesitation, he clasps his hands and wishes once, then again. Silence. Nothing happens. He sighs, crouching with disappointment. But then. Clever idea recognized. Skill acquired, dimensional storage. His eyes light up. A magical inventory. His own storage dimension. He tests it, reaching out mentally, and with a shimmer, the bones, hides, and magic stones vanish from the ground, now safely stored. Incredible. He grins. This time, his thoughts had created reality. Curious, he scoops up the deadly poison water in his hands and tries to store it, only to be met with rejection. No transfer, no shimmer. Confused, he frowns. Maybe I can't store liquids, or maybe dungeon rules block certain materials? Shaking it off, he trudges forward through the dark woods. But doubt begins to weigh on him again. He defeated a towering beast, gained skills, survived. And yet, his level is still 0. That bitter truth sinks in. A sharp contrast to all his achievements. No matter how hard I try, is this all I'll ever be? He clenches his fists. Still walking, he soon spots something moving in the clearing ahead. Small figures, rabbit-like monsters, black fur, long, clawed limbs. He ducks behind a tree, quietly trying to slip away, but as he steps back, a hidden branch snaps underfoot. Crack! The creatures freeze. All eyes lock onto him. His teeth grit in frustration. Why are there so many hidden branches? As if responding to his complaint, the system chimes. Environmental trigger detected. Trap detection skill activated. A notification timed with the ambush. The rabbit monsters leap into the air, claws out, screeching as they descend. Hinata braces for a storm, but then, something clicks. Their movements are slow. Too slow. To him, they look like they're gliding through syrup. Realization hits him. Speed transcendent is active. Time itself feels slower. He grins. This I can win. He dashes forward. Bam! A single kick sends the first monster flying. Stunned, he looks at his foot, then at the tumbling rabbit. That actually worked. Another one lunges. He counters with a swift punch. Then another. He starts fighting back with growing confidence, kicking, striking, dodging, a blur of motion. Skill acquired, bare hand strengthening. He laughs, thrilled. Skill acquired, martial arts mastery. Skill acquired, fear resistance. Shock becomes joy. With fear suppressed, he feels invincible. Even without a level, I'm getting stronger. It no longer matters that his stats are locked. Each skill earned is a symbol of his growth. Each hit lands harder. Each dodge becomes cleaner. The rabbit monsters fall one by one. Panting but proud, Hinata watches the last one vanish into dust. He kneels, quickly storing their meat, hides, and glowing stones. But something feels off. These stones, they're larger than they should be. He hesitates but shrugs it off. Later, right now, I need to find the exit. And so he walks. Longer than before, the dungeon feels like a winding dream. Then, suddenly, a sharp glimmer. Light. His heart races. He runs toward it faster, faster. Bursting through, he blinks as his eyes adjust to the brightness. He's standing inside the dungeon's main reception area. What? A girl in uniform, eyes wide, lets out a scream and falls backward. The receptionist. She scrambles up, clutching her chest. Don't scare me like that. What are you, a ghost? Hinata blinks, trying to process what just happened. She brushes off her skirt and scolds him again, though her tone softens. Were you the one who came in yesterday? Yesterday? He's stunned. Had he really been unconscious that long? Still, He's alive. That's what matters. Trying to hide his embarrassment, he nods sheepishly. The receptionist smiles politely. You don't have a license yet, do you? He shakes his head. Well, then let's get you one. She cheerfully opens a box from behind the desk and places it on the counter. Just place your hand here, she says. He hesitates, takes a breath, then places his hand on the license box. What happens next could change everything. The moment Hinata's hand touches the licensing box, a burst of black smoke erupts from its surface. Startled, the receptionist gasps, jumping back. The entire room falls silent. A few nearby adventurers turn to stare. What was that? Embarrassed but unfazed, Hinata scratches his cheek and sighs. That happens when someone's level is 0. The girl's eyes widen. 0? Her shriek echoes through the reception hall, drawing even more attention. Realizing she overreacted, she quickly clasps her hands over her mouth. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to yell really. He waves it off with a small smile. He's used to it by now. Then, he feels a warm sensation on the back of his hand. A mark begins to form etched into his skin. The explorer's crest. Proof that he's officially registered, even at level 0. Looking at it, he breathes a soft sigh of relief. Even if I can't level up, I can still bring something back for my sister. The receptionist regains her cheerful tone. Congratulations, Explorer Suzuki. He bows his head, grateful. Suddenly, an overhead announcement chimes from a floating orb. Attention, among today's new explorers, we have detected an unlicensed entry source unknown. Please remain alert. Though rare, anomalies in permits have been detected. He stiffens. Me. But instead of fear, a smile creeps onto his lips. So what, I'm here now. I'll work hard no matter what it takes. But little does he know, this unknown registration will spark ripples far beyond what he can imagine. Bags emoji, scene, shopping center material exchange counter. Wearing his dirt-covered school uniform, Hinata timidly approaches a machine glowing with magical light. One by one, he places the materials he collected. First, a shimmering magic stone. Rejected. What? He tries again with skin, bones, and other monster parts. Rejected. His heart races. Panic rises. Don't tell me everything I collected is worthless? But then the system chimes calmly. These are rare grade items. Please proceed to the rare item purchase center. Still nervous, he tries a small rabbit stone, just one. The machine buzzes, scans, then displays a number. 298,000 yen. His jaw drops. For one stone? His hands tremble as he quickly pockets the rest. No way I can cash all these in at once. I look like some kind of thief. Cautiously withdrawing just the one, he leaves the center and begins the long walk home. House emoji, scene, dormitory. Senasan, the dorm cleaner, smiles as he enters. Welcome back, Hinata. He bows politely. Sorry I missed yesterday. I went into a dungeon. She blinks, then chuckles warmly. Well, you look like it, she teases, pointing at his dirt-stained clothes. Don't overwork yourself, okay? Do you believe in me? She grins. Anyone would, seeing how beat up your uniform is. Hinata flushes with embarrassment. As he turns to leave, she calls after him. Explorer Suzuki. He stops. Her voice is gentle. Congratulations. He bows deeply. Thank you. Basket emoji, scene, laundry room. Holding his dusty uniform, he enters, only to hear a playful voice from nearby. Looks like someone had a wild dungeon run. A girl, leaning against the wall, gives him a cheeky wink. I'm Fuji Harato, she says with a grin. You must be new. He bows politely. Hinata Suzuki. As he stuffs his clothes into the washer, she peers curiously. So, what dungeon did you explore? E rank, number 117, he replies hesitantly. She freezes. You went to 117? That's insane. Most rookies avoid that one. He rubs his neck, awkward. I didn't really have a choice, I just survived somehow. She stares, shocked. Wait, you went alone? Exclamation mark. That place is dangerous even for trained teens. Blushing, he nods. I'll join a group next time, I promise. Fuji chuckles, then smiles warmly. In that case, I'll join you. I'm not super strong, but I can be helpful. Her sincerity warms his heart. Thank you, that actually means a lot. School emoji, scene, school classroom. The next day passes quietly until the door slams open. Suzuki. Keikun storms in, his voice booming. Get up, now. The whole class goes silent. Hinata rises slowly, calm. Moments later, they stand alone on the rooftop. The wind howls, clouds shift overhead. Memories flash of being shoved, humiliated, mocked. But this time, he feels nothing. Fear resistance, active. K sneers. 0 rank, huh? You think you're something special now? He cracks his knuckles and charges. But Hinata doesn't flinch. He clenches his fist, steady. Even with no level. I'm not powerless anymore. For a brief moment, time feels like it slows. Kai's charge, so menacing in the past, now seems sluggish. Predictable. Hinata doesn't flinch. Not because he's brave, but because his body simply doesn't recognize the same fear anymore. Skill acquired, cold resistance. He blinks. Cold resistance? Before he can process the new skill, a voice slices through the tension like a blade of ice. Stop. The rooftop wind halts. Kai freezes mid-punch. There, standing like a statue of winter, is Cam-san, expression unreadable, arms folded, her eyes steely. Cam, stay out of this, Kai snaps. This has nothing to do with you. But she takes one step forward. The air around her visibly crystallizes. I said stop. Her voice isn't loud, but something about it feels absolute. Kai grits his teeth, shooting a venomous glare at Hinata. Don't forget this. He storms past Cam without another word, leaving the wind to die in his wake. Hinata exhales, tension easing but only slightly. He turns, bowing politely. Thank you, Cam-san. But she doesn't reply. Her gaze stays cold. Too cold. Then. Skill acquired, freezing resistance. The world suddenly plunges into bitter cold. The rooftop tiles crack with frost. Icy wind whips past him, sharp and unnatural. His body trembles despite the resistance. Is she attacking me? He stumbles back, heart pounding. Why? But as he instinctively dashes forward, bracing for another wave of frost, Cam unexpectedly recoils. Terrified. Tears well in her eyes, her shoulders trembling, she sinks to her knees. Please, I'm sorry, she chokes out. Hinata blinks, stunned. I didn't mean to, I didn't want to hurt you. Her voice breaks, the frost around her begins to melt. I panicked. She clutches her arms tightly. Everyone always says you're weak, even the teachers ignored you. But when Kai called you out, I saw it. Her gaze flicks up to meet his. You weren't weak. You were terrifying. The wind dies. I just reacted. My skill, it's called Blessing of the Ice God. It activates when I feel truly threatened. It's not supposed to go out of control. Tears stream freely now. I don't want to hurt anyone. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what you were. Hinata lowers his fists. The frost no longer bites. He steps forward, slowly, calmly. Then, without a word, he sits beside her on the cold rooftop. Reaching into his pocket, he pulls out a simple white handkerchief. Gently, he dabs away the tears on her cheeks. Cam stares, stunned. Why are you being kind to me? She whispers. He smiles softly. Because you were trying to protect me, right? Her face flushes, eyes darting away. Even if your power scared me, he adds, I'm still grateful you came. She turns redder, her lips parting slightly in disbelief. He fidgets with his sleeve, looking down. If you ever need help with your ability, or anything else, I'll do my best." A long silence. Then, barely above a whisper, "You're weird." He chuckles, rubbing the back of his head. "I get that a lot." As he stands up to leave, even he is surprised by his own words.